Hello YouTube, this is Ruth Basky with another video. I thought today we would go over a book that I have had since 2008 called Goddesses for Every Day, and it's by Julie Lorne. And as you can see, I've had to tape it because it was falling apart. Now the tape is starting to not hold the book together. But I've had this book and I've gone over it every year that I've had it and done the Goddess for Every Day out of this book, and it covers a whole year. It's really an interesting book. Also, I wanted to remind you that I had said I was going to be redoing my altar, and I did do that. On this side over here, you can see where I have my chalice, and I have a candle there, and my dragons are there. I have my bowl of crystals and my salt down here, and my travel book of shadows there. I have my dragon there, and then my book of shadows is right here, and then I have a dragon there, and then I have dragons over here, and as well as another candle, and then I have all my oils up there, is where I keep all my oils. This cloth, you may recognize it, is actually on my La Santa Mortis altar, and I have so much of it left that the dragons decided they wanted it too, and it's all that shiny stuff that I love. And I guess dragons, being creatures of nature, like sparkle, shiny, mystical looking things as well. So anyway, back to this book that I want to talk about. So what this book does is it gives you a goddess for every day throughout each month of the year. And as you know, we are in October. In fact, this is October 8th. So this is the page would be on right here. I cannot pronounce her name. Cayenne, I think is how it's pronounced, but I'm not really sure. So I wanted to show you a little bit of this in here, and it tells you a little bit about the goddess. Sometimes called Coin. It's a Celtic goddess who had the power to There we go. Sorry, people. It's having some problems with the whole thing here. I'm having a hard time getting my phone to stand up at the moment so that I can read this clearly while I talk. And it's not wanting to stand up. My phone is being a prick right now. And let's see if I'll do it. There we go. Good look at the floor there. Let's try this again. There we go. That looks like that might work. So anyway, a beautiful background that you'll be looking at right now for a minute. So this Cayenne, sometimes called Cain, is a Celtic goddess who had the power to foretell the death of kings. She is the daughter of Berwin, and it seems to please them next to each other. It seems appropriate to place them next to each other. October 8th is Cain's first day. She is the patron saint of Glasgow, Scotland, and is another goddess of the principle of sovereignty. She is depicted dressed in gray with long tassels reaching to her knees. She has also been mythically linked to the goddess Corrigan. Her name comes from Cain, which means beautiful in Old Welsh. It is connected to that of the later Saint Cain, pronounced the same. Cain was born in Wales, and foremost holy well in Cornwall is named after her. And serving folk traditions, the first of a married couple to drink from the well will rule the marriage. In an amusing accident about relationships, a new husband rushed from the church to be first at the well, only to learn later that his new bride had brought a bottle of the well water to the church. It pays to plan ahead. So, as you can tell, she's also probably got a lot to do with marriage. There's a little contemplation verse here at the bottom of this that says, always drink deeply of the waters of life and do not fear the wrestling emotions. So, I'm not sure, exactly what things people would want to use her for. Marriage would obviously be one. To deal with our emotions, I'm assuming, would be another. And being that she was able to foretell the death of kings, I'm assuming that being a goddess of fortune would be another one of her aspects. I'm not familiar with all the goddesses in this book. There are a few that I do use, though, that I'm very familiar with. And I thought it'd be nice to share this aspect of this book with you guys tonight on YouTube, because Magic Monday is when we talk about the old pagan beliefs, Wiccan, and working magic spells and working with crystals. And so tonight I wanted to do a goddess. As October 31st draws near and we get closer and closer to Halloween, I want to be mindful of the fact that the veil is drawing thinner and thinner between the living and the dead, and the elven world and the human world. And as the veil grows thinner, your psychic abilities can grow stronger. So we want to ever be mindful about what we think, say, and do. And remember to always thank our ancestors for everything, because without them, we wouldn't be here. I have started my ancestors' altar, and I'm going to be setting stuff out on All Saints and the Day of the Dead to honor my deceased family members. Some whom I've never was really happy with. My grandmother, who I've always said who was a saint and who just seemed to always find good in everybody, is going to be the primary focus of my ancestors' altar. And I'm going to take this time this year, I think, to try to find a way to actually be able to change my emotions about a couple of my family members who passed away that I don't particularly like, and find a way to look into them more in a manner of saying that they believed they were doing what they were doing was right, or they didn't know what they were doing was wrong, and work on a way to write up a spell or ritual that will help me to forgive them for the wrong that was done to me in my life, so that I can move on more, because holding on to grudges that went years back when I was only a kid is really hurting me spiritually, emotionally, and I need to bury that hatchet and bury that emotions. And as we get closer to October and Halloween, when I'm going to be doing this, I'm probably going to I may even film that if it falls on the right day, and have it put up on YouTube. I know that Halloween is mostly a family-oriented thing, like go trick-or-treating together, and my daughter is going to be taking my grandkids out trick-or-treating. So I'm going to be pretty much here by myself passing out the candy. And so October 31st, the goddess for that date for this month is Erenrod. And she's another Celtic goddess who represents the stars. She's a moon divinity. And I think I'm going to see if maybe this divinity can actually help me. I won't read on it right now because this is not her day. Today was the 8th, and I wanted to do the goddess for today. I know I haven't been doing a lot of videos. I've just been lazy lately. It seems like a lot of what I've been usually doing isn't panning out as well as I'd like it to pan out. So I'm actually considering not doing doll videos anymore and just working on the craft and my Lysantha Mortis videos. And for those of you who've been watching my doll videos, I'm sorry to have to give you that announcement, but they're not really panning out that well. I'm not getting the views I want from them. I'm not getting the response I want from them. And I want to continue to do more videos like this that deal with paganism and with Lysantha Mortis and my path that I'm following, which is a dragonic path. I am what is known as a dragon mystic. And I'm going to be covering a lot of that on Magic Monday. I'm going to start covering my path on the dragonic path and the whole dragon mysticism. I have books that I could share with you guys. My reading isn't all that great, as you could tell, but I will try to read things out of it. I will try to give you an idea of what the topic is we're talking about, and how the best of my abilities, try to explain to you how you can also work with dragons and have great success like I do. My altar is been redone, like I said, and yes, Kali is still there. And right behind that Kali tapestry right there is a mirror. And that's one of the reasons why I put that tapestry there, because even though mirrors are great for scrying, and I do use the one behind that for scrying occasionally, leaving them uncovered and open, you can actually invite spirits into your house that you may not want into your house. They become gateways and portals to unwanted energies and unwanted entities. So it's always best to keep mirrors in your house covered. If you're have a mirror in your living room and you think, oh, that looks great, I'm just going to use it for decoration, you may want to take some witch hazel to it and cleanse it down and do a ritual to block out negative energies and evil entities from coming through those mirrors, because mirrors in a house are gateways to unwanted activity. And so it's a very good idea to always make sure your mirrors are cleansed. And I suggest witch hazel because it's really very good for that. Then if you still feel uncomfortable and it's not going to leave a hole in your wall that's going to look unsightly, you can take the mirror down and store it somewhere, or you can find something to cover it with and make it look decorative by covering it with some material and putting a little mantle up in front of it and hanging some material over the mirror and setting flowers in front of it and little decorative things in front of it to make it look attractive without everybody seeing the mirror and without the unwanted entities being able to come through. That's my advice on mirrors, especially large mirrors like this, because that mirror does and is as long as this tapestry of Kali is. Anyway, that is my take on Magic Monday today. This video is longer than I thought it was going to be. So if you like this video today, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified when I upload more videos like this. Leave comments below. I'd like to know what you think of this video and what your advice would be for people who have large mirrors in the house. That would be extremely interesting to find out. And let me know what you think about my goddess book down here. If you have one of these, if you have this book, and what your experience with has it been, I'd love to hear that too. And help me come up with some more ideas. Suggest something you'd like to have me cover, and then I will go through and look up the information on it, if I don't already have information on it, and do it in one of my other videos. So in the meantime, blessed be, and have a great night. Toodles.